Hey, you want to grow a lot of food? You're in the right place. We're going to do a lot of cool things this spring, and it all starts with microgreens. Now, we want to grow them over and over so we can always have them on hand. So, we automated the system to make it easy so we wouldn't have to be out here all the time. It's still off grid, there's no pumps, aeration, electricity. We just make the system self watering so we can set it and forget it. So, this takes all the stress out of it. Let me show you. Now, I kind of went a little crazy, and I went to the thrift shops because my wife was upset I was taking all of her baking dishes. So I grabbed everything they had. They were only a couple of bucks a piece. A lot of them were only 99 cents. And then I made a lot of these in my 3D printer. There'll be a link down in the description if y'all are interested. And we'll talk about this later. But I set all these containers up and let my wife come out and put whatever seeds she wanted in them. Then pretty much it was just sit around and wait. We just came out a few times a day and looked at it. Because even though we didn't have to do anything, it's really cool watching the plants grow. Now, if you don't eat a ton of microgreens, you don't have to plant this many at one time. We have a lot growing in different stages. I planted out these bowls before I planted the other ones. And then we planted some that germinate at different rates. That way you have some coming up while other seeds are just waking up. So from this stage you can see that some are going to be ready quicker than others. Then you don't have to eat everything at one time. You see these radish? They don't really use that much. So I'm learning as I go. I don't need a full bottle. Maybe half. We'll see. Then all I do is come out every morning and check. See which ones germinated and which ones are about ready to be harvested. Now some of the containers are mason jars and some are regular soda pop bottles. Both work. And with the glass jars, we can just label them and then wipe it off when we're done and ready to reuse them. These plastic containers here we got at the Dollar Tree. With this system being so easy, you can experiment with a lot of stuff. Look around your house, you probably have things you can grow in right now. And as you harvest some, you replant it, like this radish here. These guys look like they're ready for a little bit of sunlight. Basically, that's all I do. Now, up till now, during the winter, you saw us growing indoors. This is outdoors. And all I did was put a little plastic up over my shade house. Now, I don't mind that look, but I didn't want plastic hanging down everywhere like a greenhouse. So, I keep the plants in from the side, so when it rains, it doesn't fill up the bowls. But if I put plastic down both sides, I could fit a lot more plants in here if I needed. But I think we got enough for right now. So pretty much that's it. I haven't done anything. All of these, you've seen them going through the growing process. This is all in about a week. We're ready to harvest some. Others will take a few more days as we harvest. You saw the other video. I'll link it up above. And that's how we change it out. It only takes a few minutes. And that's how you keep the process going over and over and over again. Experiment with different containers. These are clear. We've got some that are opaque. These are darker glass. That way if you have a problem with algae, maybe you want to try something that's a little darker or not clear, like the bowls or the pie dish. Now all of this doesn't get harvested and redone. Once you start your system like this, you come in, you get what you need. When something needs to be replanted, you just take those, maybe a few a day. It won't take you very long. Clean it out, put fresh nutrients, a little more hydrogen, seeds, cover it up, and set those back to germinate. Then you've got other plants to eat in the meantime while you're waiting on those. And that's what I call a continuous harvest system. Is you get something set up like this. Once you get going and you're in the habit, it's just fun to come out every few days, get a cup of coffee, harvest, replant a couple, and then you always have fresh greens whenever you need them. Now, if all you wanted to do was grow and eat microgreens, this would work. It's really easy. But if you want to grow bigger plants, and that's what we're doing in spring with the clay pebbles, It's easy to pull these plants out and transplant them into bigger containers. And growing them this way has a few benefits. There's not a lot of soil on the roots that you have to wash off or worry about getting into your hydroponics. And the plant's already used to being in the nutrient solution. So when you change them over to a bigger container, they take off right away. They're not having to transition from soil to hydroponics. It makes it a whole lot easier. Now this is just automating the system to make it easy to do over and over again, because if things are tough and it gets to be like work, sometimes you're not going to feel like doing it. So if you want any of these adapters to make the self-watering containers, I've got a link down in the description. And if you have a 3D printer yourself, I'm also on Thingiverse. Keep on growing. And I put the files up there so you can print your very own. Now you don't have to do this. This is just a way that I'm trying to make things easy for myself and for others. And if you want to grow microgreens the traditional way, that's totally doable. So whatever you do, get out there, grow your own food, live to inspire, keep on growing, be the change.